Welcome. Thanks for joining in. Today's shout out is to Emily in Adelaide, who wanted to know what's inside an electric motor and how to draw it. There's only one moving part inside a motor called the armature. It spins around really fast. It does that with power from the battery. Travels down the wire and into what's called a terminal, through a coil, which makes a magnet, to a switch, if you want to be able to cut the power, that is, and then returns back to the other terminal of the battery. There's the motor switching off and on. To make it a bit clearer, I've hooked up a little propeller to it. Let's use the motor to spin a Lego Beyblade, but for safety you'll definitely need some goggles. The parts spin off so fast they're like bullets. Alright, here we go. So we're attaching the Lego Beyblade to the motor. You'll see me give it a tap to make it fall off. Switch on. Here's a little screwdriver to open these motors up. There's a little metal tab that you need to bend open and one on the other side. Then you'll find the cap will come off and just pop the armature straight out. So that's the armature, and those little bits of metal are the contacts. That's what sends the power into the armature as it spins. So let's pop that armature straight out, and that's the only moving part. Amazing. You can see some magnets inside the casing. Here I am holding the shaft at both ends and I'm spinning the armature. That's a clip that holds the two magnets in place. So with that removed, the magnets just pop out. Let's test and see if they act like magnets. Yep. And that little bit gets pulled up, so it must be steel. The casing must be steel as well. This is a really neat solar car project. Same setup as before. We have power from a battery running to a switch and a DC motor. The difference is we also have the option of this solar cell to send power to the switch. This motor's running through some gears to the wheel. Ready, set, whooshki. Here's the four parts in the same order that we'll be drawing them in. Starting point in the bottom right corner. Make sure your splat is straight up and down. Use the side of the page. And then give me one left splat line. I'm going to extend that into a long line, and I'll be calling that a center line. You guys, for now, just draw it really lightly, even though mine looks dark. Here's the cap. Put a mark on your center line that we're going to start drawing from. Those two little blips on the ellipse line up with your center line. Then get the dot in the middle, and boom, there's our first ellipse. Now I'm going to slide it along a little bit, maybe 5 mil, and then draw half an ellipse. Join the top and bottom. So you've got a really short cylinder. And that's the cap. I'm going to erase a few lines there. Do a little tidy up. Now find that original starting point on our center line and place the splat on it and do two little marks. They're going to be our terminals. To draw in the little metal tabs that are the terminals, just poke some lines out there. That's looking great. Now comes the shaft for the armature to mount on. So a little circle somewhere on your center line. Use the left splat angle to draw two lines, roughly 3 millimeters apart, and then half an ellipse to finish off. Next I'm measuring off one splat length on the center line. Notice I'm lining up those blips on the center line, and then I get the end of the shaft in the middle of the ellipse, and round I go. Now I'm doing exactly the same thing at the other end, but I'm drawing half an ellipse. Now I'm using the splat angle to join the very ends of those ellipses. It's called a tangent. That's the main shape of the armature. Have a look at the little copper windings that go around it. When we energize them with electricity, they become magnets. Notice there's 3, so I'm just planning the center of those coils. Now I'm going to draw in the piece of metal that they're wound around. You can start off with them shorter and then make them longer and longer until they almost meet. Notice there's a gap in between each of them. And that's the center of where the gap is. Notice each of these short lines I'm drawing all point towards the very center of the ellipse. Hey, well done. Now it's time to take that really light drawing and firm or darken in some of the lines. Let's have a go at drawing some of the windings or the copper wire. They go straight along the length and then curve around at the front. Then the next winding starts the same way, but it will curve around and tuck under like that. Now I'm going to erase those planning lines that I had and do my little fix up. Now that's looking like an armature. I'm having a go with a little bit of brown fine pencil and maybe a bit of texture. Also a little bit of red. Copper has a slight orangey, reddy, browny colour to it, if that makes sense. The best way to render these is to use a ruler and do lots of light lines backwards and forwards and a little darker at the edges. Now the shaft at the back, maybe a splat length. Offset means to draw a line each side of a centre line, and I think we said it was about 3. A little half ellipse at the end, and there's our shaft. It should line up with the one at the front too. So there I am, just tidying that up. I'm going to come back another 1 splat length. I'm going to draw a light ellipse at the front, half an ellipse at the back. So same deal as before, we're drawing a cylinder. So I'll need to join the top and the bottom. I'm just using the splat like a ruler there. It's no particular angle. Now I'm going to offset a line outside of that to make or generate a bigger ellipse. So start off with it lightly and firm it in when you're sure you've got it pretty much to shape. I'm going to do the same thing at the back as well. Let's join there and there. Ultimately, you want to be able to sketch things, designs by hand, without needing any guides or templates. Now I don't need those ones on the inside, and there's a gap in the magnets. So I'm going to plan where my gap is, top and bottom, and I'm going to put a dot each side of that. And on each of those dots, I'm running a left splat line. And those ones down the bottom, you've got to remember to stop when you hit another line because it's disappearing behind something. Same with that one. Now when we remove some of those lines, it will really start to look like those 2 magnets. Now it's time to draw the casing, the body. Pick a point that's pretty close to the magnets or else we're going to run out of room. And draw an ellipse. Now notice the ellipse is tucked away behind the magnets. Overlapping is a great way to make drawings really pop, that 3D kind of effect. So I'm starting off as before and I'm offsetting a bigger ellipse. Same at the back. And the case could even be a tiny bit bigger than that. Should be just slightly bigger than the magnets. The metal for the body is really thin. So we need to draw a very close line around the inside there, and we're almost done. These 2 little marks help hold the magnets and the clip on inside. 2 lines on the splat angle, and then looks like a rectangle but just angled off a bit. I'm using a light grey pencil there. I'm using a 3B, a really soft pencil for those magnets. And I'm rendering to make it look more 3D. I'd suggest before you render, take a photocopy of your work and then practice on the photocopies. If you like this tutorial, then subscribe to the channel and send in your ideas of what you'd like to see torn down and drawn. Thanks guys, bye.